Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome into the Hopkinton High School turf fields for Hopkinton Hillers Varsity Baseball. As this evening, Hopkinton takes on Westwood. Tom Nappy on the call and on the camera as well, due to the fact that there was a late change today in the schedule. We'll tell you all about it in just a moment, but first, we want to let you know on the hill for the Hillers, you have Nick Pedroli as he is set to deal. There's a strike, 1-1. The hitter at the plate is catcher Jonathan Bertone. Hopkinton Hillers 2-2. Westwood Wolverines 3-0. Swing and a miss. And that'll make the count 1-2. So the games today were originally supposed to be in Westwood, but due to the field conditions, they moved them here to Hopkinton High School. Wind up and the pitch, and that is outside. That'll make it a 2-2 count. We'll take you through the Westwood batting order in just a moment as Pedroli set to deliver, and that's fouled off. You got Jonathan Bertone, the catcher, starting things off. Brendan Senjic, the shortstop, hitting second. Danny Leahy, the center fielder, hitting third. Drew Donegan, first baseman, hitting cleanup. Teddy McGowan, third baseman, hitting fifth. Max Bull, DH, hitting sixth. Charlie Martin, the second baseman, hitting seventh. As this is up the first base side, he'll run it over, step on the bag, no problem. A 3 unassisted ground out to start things off, and that'll bring up Brendan Senjic, the shortstop. Just getting things started here in the top of the first. So these games were originally supposed to be over in Westwood. They changed it later this afternoon at about noontime. They announced the games would be in Hopkinton instead, and that's one of the new themes of the season. If you have a field that's playable, change where the game's going to be, as this is driven into right field. That's going to be a one-out single for the shortstop, Brendan Senjic. 1 on, 1 out for Westwood. Danny Leahy will step to the plate. And a big thank you to Morgan Donovan out of from Westwood Cable, who's stepping in, and he's on the call of the Hopkinton Westwood softball game, checking at first, runner back safe. So he has the call to that game. We're live with both of these games, and it was a little bit of a challenge getting the crew together so late, but we were able to fortunately find a way to bring you both of these crucial TVL large matchups between the Hopkinton Hillers and the Westwood Wolverines. That pitch outside. 1-0 on Senjic, on Leahy. Senjic over at first. Let's take you through the Hillers defense. After this pitch, wind up and the pitch. This is hit in the air, foul. Behind home plate doing the catching, you got Calvin Mahan. Nick Pedroli, of course, on the hill. Charlie Simulus will be DH. Dylan Ruff is your shortstop. Michael Sullivan over at first base. He pitched a great game the other day against Dedham, and the Hillers were able to pull off a win. Set to deliver. Swing and a miss. 1-2. In center field, you got James Hayward. Third base, you got Andrew Bauschman. And we'll get you more in just a moment. Wind up and the pitch. Down low. Over in right field is Zach Stacy. And then your second baseman for the Hillers is Ryan Lang. Wind up and the pitch. This is driven in the air over to right field, and that is foul. Left field, rather. Of course, we're facing in towards the outfield, so you got to remember to reverse your right and left. But that was in a left field foul. And that is fortunate for the Hillers. That could have been big trouble. Speaking of left field, your left fielder is Chris Wheeler. He's the odd man out of the batting order in left field for the Hillers. Runner taking off from first to throw down. He's going to be safe. So a stolen base for Senjic. Pretty good throw by Mahan, but it just got away. Here's the 3-2. And he turns towards second base, runner back. So we got Morgan Donahue on the call for softball, Denise Untaki on camera for that game. And I'm multitasking here for this baseball game, doing a little bit of both. So apologies if the camera work is a little bit stagnant, as it's going to be tough to move around too much. But we'll bring you as much of the action as we can. We'll bring you the important stuff. Wind up and the pitch. That's inside, walk drawn. Ball gets away, runner from second takes off for third. So Senjic advances on the wild pitch. Leahy draws the walk. And now you got the cleanup man, Drew Donegan, to the plate. 5 for 10 on the season so far. 500 batting average. Wind up in the pitch. In there for a strike. There's a strike. 0-2. So Nick Pajoli, he's going to get some good pitching experience this season. Did not get any last year. He was used primarily as a fielder last year, but you're going to see him a lot this year. He's going to be a guy this Hiller team relies on. As that's fouled off, behind the backstop it goes. It looks like Hiller softball off to a good start. They got a 1-0 lead in the second inning. That game is live as well on HCAM. Pajoli takes a long look in. Set to deliver. And there's a strike. Got him looking for the second out. And that's going to bring up Drew Donegan. Or Teddy McGowan, rather. That was Drew Donegan who struck out. So Teddy McGowan, the third baseman, will step in. Both Hiller softball and Westwood softball are undefeated, so that game is certainly a big one here in these early days of the season. And this game a big one as well. 2-2 Hillers, 3-0 Westwood. The Hillers fell short in their last game, a road game in King Philip. They lost 4-3 as that pitch down low. Hillers hoping to get back on the winning track here this evening. And he takes a slice at that pitch, fouled away. It's going to make the count 1-2. Runners on first and third, 2 outs in the inning. Wind up and the pitch. And he gets a piece of this one, could be trouble, and that's into center field. That's going to be a base hit and a run for the Wolverines. And the runner from second advancing to third as well, so an RBI single for the third baseman. And that's going to bring up Max Bull, the DH. Brendan Senjic scores. Danny Leahy over to third. And Max Bull to the plate. Well, both of these teams, they got some good hitters, and as the catcher going to come out, have a word, and we'll have the Hiller coach as well pay Pedroli a visit on the mound. Head coach Matt Anderson, his second season at the helm for the Hillers. Actually, this is his third season at the helm for the Hillers. Coach Simos also part of the staff as an assistant. So the DH hoping to drive in another run for the Wolverines. They do have a runner on third. Set to deliver. That one just outside. 1-1 the count. He winds, he deals inside. Checking at first, runner slides back, and the runner at third going to stay put, but a risky check in there with that runner at third. Time called. Well, pretty cold day here at the turf fields. Temperatures in the 30s, a slight breeze, high 30s, low 40s. And there was some snow earlier this morning as that pitch way outside. Perhaps they were seeing if the runner was going to take off. There's a strike. Runner from first gets the easy steal to second. Wind up and the pitch. Swing and a miss. And he gets out of it with no further harm. Westwood does plate a run. And they take a 1-0 lead as we head to the bottom of the first on HCAM. We are ready for the bottom of the first inning. Mitch Simulus stepping in. On the mound for Westwood, you got Pat Hunt. And he's going to get a piece of this one, and it's in foul territory, out of play. Fouled towards the parking lot. Mitch Simulus hitting .333 on the season here in these early days. Let's take you through the Hiller batting order. Mitch Simulus, the DH, starts things off. Nick Pedroli, the pitcher, hitting second. Dylan Ruff, shortstop, hitting third. Michael Sullivan, first baseman, hitting cleanup. James Hayward, center fielder, hitting fifth. That pitch outside, 2-1. Andrew Bauschman, third baseman, hitting sixth. Calvin Mahan, catcher, hitting seventh. Zach Stacy, right fielder, hitting eighth. Ryan Lang, second baseman, hitting ninth. And Chris Wheeler is your left fielder, odd man out of the batting order. 3-1 count now. Wind up and the pitch. And that grabs the outer corner for strike two. Hiller softball update. They now lead it 2-0 in the second inning. That game also live on HCAM. As the walk is drawn by Mitch Simulus, so the DH will be aboard with no outs. Nick Pedroli stepping to the plate. Slight breeze today, as well as someone in the Hiller softball game just tattooed the ball. Went all the way off the fence. They do have the fence up. So Hiller softball getting those bats going once again and trying to hand Westwood their first loss of the season. Runner on first. Nick Pedroli at the plate as that's fouled off. 0-1 the count. Wind up and the pitch. It's a bunt, pulls it back. 1-1. Time called. Pitcher taking a little too long to deliver that pitch. Well, they don't get the pitch clock yet in high school baseball. Checking at first, runner back safe. Pretty good pickoff, though. Pat Hunt, the pitcher for Westwood, has pitched 5 innings this season. He's faced 21 hitters. Wind up and the pitch. Swing and a miss. And that'll make it 1-2. And so far, he has not given up a run on the season. So Pat Hunt, he's been an ace type of pitcher for this Westwood team, as this is hit high in the air over towards center field, shallow center, and it's caught by the shortstop. So that'll make it 1 on with 1 out. That's going to bring up Dylan Ruff. That pitch outside. Jonathan Bertone is the catcher for Westwood. Pat Hunt the pitcher. Shortstop Brendan Senjic. Center fielder Danny Leahy. First baseman Drew Donegan. Third baseman Teddy McGowan. Max Bull the DH. At second base, Charlie Martin. Runner from first taking off. Throw up, and they got him. So Simulus caught stealing. That'll make it 2 outs. Continuing on with the Westwood defense, Brady Dumais in left field, Sam Blomquist in right field, and that is your Westwood Wolverines defense as Dylan Ruff steps in. Ruff facing a 1-1 count. That one just outside. The 2-1. Hit in the air, right side, and caught in foul territory. A nice catch there, and that'll wrap up the inning. To the top of the second we go. After 1, it's Westwood 1, the Hillers nothing. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hiller Baseball on HCAM. And also airing over in Westwood on Westwood Media Center. Certainly glad to have all the Westwood folks with us as well today. And we are heading to the second inning.
Bay Path may have outgrown its space, but not its mission. We need your help to build a new facility that matches our capabilities and dedication. Join us and help ensure we can continue to provide exceptional care and find loving homes for animals for years and years to come. Thank you.
Top of the second inning. Nick Pajoli back out there as Charlie Martin steps in, the second baseman, and he's going to hit this in the air, right side foul. We'll make the count 0-1. 7, 8, and 9 hitters due up for Westwood. Charlie Martin, Brady Dumais, Sam Blomquist. Charlie Martin 2 for 8 so far on the season. And there's a strike. Grabs the inner corner. The lights coming on here at the turf fields. 1-2 the count. Time called. Well, it's a cold one here today. Kind of feeling more like the late fall part of the year or early winter. Right up in the pitch, and this is driven in the air over to left field, and it is caught for the out. Nicely done by the left fielder, Chris Wheeler. And that's going to bring up Brady Dumais. And this is hit on the ground, right side. It was dropped by the first baseman, able to flip it to the pitcher. And a nice out, good recovery. It was actually the second baseman. It went in and out of his glove, but he picked it up, flipped it over to Pajoli. And you could score that A very rare 4-1 out, 2 away. Stepping in, Sam Blomquist. That pitch grabs the outer corner for a strike. 0-1. On the ground, right side, and that is going to trickle through, but a nice job grabbing it on the outer infield, and that was really towards the lip of the grass, and he's able to get it to first for the out. 4-3 on the out. We'll head to the bottom of the second on HCAM and Westwood Media Center. HCAM Sports is supported by our viewers and by the Dentist at Hopkinton. The Dentist at Hopkinton provides services including comprehensive dental care, same-day crowns, facial aesthetics, periodontal care, cosmetic dentistry, and implant dentistry. The Dentist at Hopkinton is located at 77 Main Street and online at hopdent.com. Bottom of the second inning, Michael Sullivan, the first baseman, stepping in. 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for the Hillers. Michael Sullivan, James Hayward, Andrew Bauschman. Wind up and the pitch. There's a strike. 1-1 the count. Leg lift and the pitch. A little low there, 2-1. Hiller softball continuing to just absolutely crush the ball. They currently lead Westwood 5-0 in the third inning. We have that game live as well, so go grab another TV or a tablet or a computer, and you can have both games on. This is hit high in the air towards left center, and it is caught by the center fielder for the out. 1 away. That's going to bring up James Hayward. Nice catch by Danny Leahy. He had to range a bit to make that one. First pitch is a ball from Pat Hunt to James Hayward. Wind up and the pitch. And that is ball 2. James Hayward 1 for 9 so far on the season at the plate. Leg lift and the pitch up high. 3-0 the count. if you're Hayward, you're likely not going to be swinging here. And just grabs the outer part of the plate, 3-1. And that's ball 4, a little low, so the walk is drawn, a 1-out walk. And that's going to bring up Andrew Bauschman. Long look at first, and he is set to deliver. And the runner from first taking off, the throw over, and it's not in time. Very close, but James Hayward able to squeak out the stolen base. And you better watch out if you're the Hailers. Jonathan Bertone has a pretty good throw. Line up and the pitch. That's up high. Bauschman on the season, hitting a .286 so far. And he would like to get a rally started here. Some words of encouragement from the catcher. John Bertone to Pat Hunt. Lined up and the pitch. And that's a strike. 2-1. Well, the Hillers, they're risky on the base pass, but with this catcher, I think they're going to limit their risks, but they're certainly going to take some as well, and they're going to take one here as the runner takes off, but that's fouled away. So he'll return towards the parking area. Off a car goes the ball. You got to be careful where you park here. The 2-2 pitch. Pretty significant lead for Hayward. He's dancing around out there trying to get in Hunt's head a little bit. And this is hit in the air right side, and it is caught. A runner from second going to tag, and he'll slide into third safe. It is going to be 2 outs, but you get that runner to third. And that is going to bring up Calvin Mahan, the catcher. The very good hitting catcher, 375 so far on the season. He gets another hit here, and the run's going to score an RBI single for Cal Mahan. A job well done. He drives in Hayward. And that is exactly what you wanted there if you are the Hillers. Zach Stacy steps in. Checking at first, and the ball gets away, and he is going to advance. Safely aboard at second base is the pinch runner, Gabe Cafazzo, the courtesy runner.
Oh, can I mute the mic by the input of what could see?
At the plate, Zach Stacy, the right fielder. And this is hit in the air towards right center. And that is going to drop in for a hit. And that'll score another run. Cal Mahan around to score. An RBI base hit for Zach Stacy. And just like that, the Hillers take the lead. Stepping to the plate, Ryan Lang. It's now a 2-1 Hiller lead. Well, the Hillers lately are enjoying those two-out rallies. Ryan Lang hitting a .500 on the season so far. He has been very good with the bat. And you can't forget about the other night when the Hillers were down to their final out in the game, loaded up the bases as that's fouled off up the left side. They loaded up the bases and big Michael Sullivan came in there, absolutely tattooed a ball to left field to score 2 runs and help the Hillers walk away with the walk-off win over Dedham. That pitch outside. So a nice pair of RBI hits in the inning from Calvin Mahan and Zach Stacy have put the Hillers up 2-1. And they're looking for more. Runner on first is taking off, throw to second, and it is not going to be there in time. Another stolen base for the Hillers. Zach Stacy showing off the wheels. Wind up and the pitch, and this is hit high in the air, right side, and caught for the out. And that'll wrap up the inning, but not before the Hillers played a pair, and they lead it 2-1 as we head to the top of the third on HCAM. Top of the third inning, and it's top of the order for Westwood. Jonathan Bertone at the plate, and he's going to foul that up the left side. Hillers claim the lead heading into this inning. Hillers softball update. They're now leading 5-0. They're in the 4th inning in that game. That game started a little bit earlier than this one. 1-2 the count. Wind up in the pitch, a swing and a miss, and he got him. 1 away. I'll bring up Brendan Senjic. I'll tell you, Pedroli pitching well today. He's thrown 40 pitches so far, so certainly at a good pace here into this third inning. Pedroli set to deal, leg lift and the pitch, and that is a liner up the left side, right to the third baseman, throws over, and he got him. 5-3, 4 out, number 2. That'll bring up Danny Leahy, the center fielder. Wind up and the pitch. There's a strike, 0-1. Set to deliver, fouled into the backstop, 0-2. And this is up the left side, foul. A little bit of wind starting to blow in. It's blowing in towards the field, so that could affect distance a little bit. Hit in the air, right side, in foul territory, and it's off the siding. Hiller, right fielder, was hoping to make the catch there, but just went off the siding. Of course, it's Zach Stacy out there, who got one of the RBI hits last inning, the 0-2. Just outside, 1-2. Danny Leahy, 5 for 10 on the season coming into this game. And there's a strikeout. 1, 2, 3 they go. And we'll head to the bottom of the third. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hiller's Westwood Wolverines on HCAM and Westwood Media Center. 2-1 Hillers into the bottom of the third. HCAM programming is supported by our viewers, thank you, and by Phipps Insurance Agency, representing companies such as MapFree Insurance. Their family-owned independent agency is deeply rooted in the communities they serve and offer time-tested insurance products to fit individual needs. Since 1950, Phipps Insurance specializes in home, auto, business, condo, and renters insurance. Bottom of the third inning. Stepping in for the Hillers, top of the order, Mitch Simulus. Wind up and the pitch. A little outside there. 1-0 count. Mitch Simulus, Nick Pedroli, Dylan Ruff due up. That pitch outside, 2-0. Set to deliver. There is a strike, 2-1. Mitch Simulus hitting a .333 coming into today's game. Line up and the pitch, and this is up the left side, foul. Two and one the count. Leg lift and the pitch. Little outside there. Oh, grab the outer corner, excuse me. 2-2, says the home plate umpire. Oh, I was right the first time. The scoreboard was wrong. 3-1. Lined up and the pitch. And the walk is drawn. Mitch Simulus will be aboard to start off this bottom of the third inning. Nick Pedroli set to step in. He's been red hot with the bat. .556 batting average. Checking at first, runner back safe. Well, this is who you. This is the top. This is the part of the order you want up right now. Get a nice rally going. Set to deliver. And that's inside. Runner from first taking off. And that time he got him. Well, that is the second time Mitch Simulus has been caught stealing. That was just a great throw from Jonathan Bertone. And this is up the right side foul. One and one the count. Yeah, I mean, it's a big risk trying to send that runner, as this is up the right side, and they'll get him. Nicely done by the second baseman. He ranged over to his left and was able to make the throw over. 4-3 for out number 2. Dylan Ruff stepping in. But, you know, getting caught stealing with no outs, that could be a rally killer right there. That pitch outside. 1-0. Swing and a miss. 1-1 the count. Breaking pitch, and that's ball 2. A little high. Leg lift and the pitch, just outside. 3-1. Dylan Ruff was 0 for 4 coming into today's game. Ruff flew out in his first plate appearance back in the first. And he fouls that one away. That'll fill up the count. Update from Hiller softball, 6-0. Hiller lead. They're in the 5th inning. Both of these games were supposed to be in Westwood today, but moved here due to the fact they got the grass fields over in Westwood, and we had some snow this morning, so I'm sure that was some hard ground out there. Is Dylan Ruff going to draw the walk? Runner on first, 2 outs. Michael Sullivan to the plate. And that makes you go back and think about Simulus trying to steal there and getting thrown out. You could have 2 on with 1 out and your cleanup man at the plate right now. And that's why it's such a big risk to send that runner from first with no outs. 0-1 the count. Leg lift and the pitch, and this is hit high in the air, and it is over to the left side and caught for the out, and that will wrap up the inning. To the top of the 4th we go. Hillers lead it 2-1 on HCAM.
Saturday morning cartoons are back. Every Saturday at 8 a.m., HCAM's Toon Time has an hour of classic cartoons, from Betty Boop to Superman to Popeye to Bugs Bunny and more. You'll see your old favorites and discover new ones. So tune in to Toon Time, Saturdays at 8, and start your weekend off with a laugh.
Top of the 4th inning, 4, 5, and 6 hitters due up for Westwood. Drew Donegan set to step in, followed up by Teddy McGowan and Max Bull. And he is going to get a piece of this one over towards left field, and it is caught for the out. 1 away. Nice quick out for the Hillers. Teddy McGowan stepping in, and the first pitch to him is ball 1. Set to deliver. And he gets a piece of this one. It's back to the pitcher. Throw to first, and they got him. 1-3, 4 out number 2. That brings up Max Bull, the DH. And that first pitch in there for a strike. And this is hit over to the shortstop. Throw over, not a problem. 6-3, 4 out number 3. 1-2-3 they go. To the bottom of the fourth we go on HCAM. Bottom of the fourth inning. And the first pitch to James Hayward is a ball. That'll make it a 2-0 count. It's the 5, 6, and 7 hitters for the Hillers this inning. Hayward, Bauschman, and Mahan. It's turned into a little bit of a pitcher's duel in these last couple innings. Wind up and the pitch, and this is fouled off towards the parking area. Look out, cars. 2-2. Hit in the air, foul. Wind up and the pitch. Oh, that hit him. Lead runner on for the Hillers. First hit batter of the game. Can't feel good getting hit when the weather is this cold. Andrew Bauschman will step in. And it's a bunt, slow roller, left side, throw to first, and they'll get the out at first. Hayward does advance to second, however, so it'll be runner on second with one out. A little sacrifice bunt there to move the runner into scoring position. Now Calvin Mahan set to step in. There is warm-up action for both teams, actually, Westwood and the Hillers. 1-0 count on Mahan. Takes a long look at second and delivers, and therefore strike, 1-1. Set to deliver. Down low, and it gets away. And Hayward going to head to third. He will be safe. So the runner moves up on the wild pitch. Hiller's in business. Runner on third with one out. A 2-1 count on Mahan. Wind up and the pitch outside. Well, Hunt is up to 65 pitches now. Set to deliver. There's a strike. 3-2. Big pitch here for Hunt. If he can get that second out, that'll be pretty big momentum boost. Hit high in the air, and it's over the head of the shortstop. He'll make the catch, and a runner at third will stay put. A big out for Westwood. And that is going to bring up Zach Stacy. It was Calvin Mahan and Zach Stacy who had the RBIs in the third inning. Wind up and the pitch. Down low. 1-0 the count. Set to deliver. And that is just outside. 2-0. Ryan Lang due up next. Shall Stacy reach? There's a strike. Grabs the outer corner. 2-1. A good pitching matchup today between Pat Hunt and Nick Pajoli. And this is a liner right at the second baseman, and they get the out. No harm done, and it remains a 2-1 Hiller lead as we head to the top of the fifth on HCAM and Westwood Media Center.
HCAM is supported by our viewers. Thank you. And by the Hopkinton Independent newspaper and online news site. The newspaper reaches 100% of the homes and businesses in town, and the website is updated daily with exclusive Hopkinton content. Readers can receive a daily newsletter and breaking news alerts via email.
Top of the 5th inning. New pitcher for the Hillers as well. At the plate, Charlie Martin. And he is going to hit this into right center. That's going to be a base hit, a leadoff single for the second baseman, Charlie Martin. That'll bring up Brady Dumais. Well, Pedroli went 4 solid innings. And now in there, it is Landon Fitzgibbon. And the runner trying to steal second, and he will. Stolen base for Martin. Westwood looking to get things going. Well, Pedroli pitched really well in that 4 innings. I mean, you thought they would have left him in for the 5th, but they decided to go to the pen. And this is hit on the ground, left side, and everybody's going to be safe. He hangs on to the ball, and it's going to be runners on first and third. Well, you got to understand why he didn't want to throw over. Charlie Martin started going before the pitch and reached third, and if you throw over trying to get Dumais, that would have probably led to the game-tying run by Martin. Sam Blomquist at the plate. There's a strike. Runners on the corners, no outs. And that is foul up the right side. And we'll get a mound visit here. Coach Anderson and Mahano to try to settle down Fitzgibbon a little bit. Well, Pedroli went 4 innings, giving up 2 hits, 1 run, struck out 4. Very good outing. Blomquist 0 for 1 so far. Chance to tie the game here. Pitch a strike, or a ball rather. 1-2 the count. Swing and a miss, and that is a big strikeout. 1 away. Top of the order for Westwood. Jonathan Bertone, the catcher, stepping in. Well, if Fitzgibbon could pitch his way out of this, that would be pretty remarkable. And there's a bunt. It's picked up by the catcher as the run scores. Throw to first, they get the out, but the run does score, and we're knotted up at 2 apiece. So that ends up being a sacrifice RBI groundout for Bertone as Brandon Senjic steps in. And he is going to get a piece of this one. Throw to first. They get the out. And that will retire the side in the top of the 5th. But not before Westwood ties the game up. It is 2-2 as we head to the bottom of the 5th on HCAM. New pitcher on the mound for Westwood, Ryan Petrus into the game to take over on the hill. A solid 4 innings pitched by Pat Hunt as Ryan Lang set to step in. It's the 9-1 and 2 hitters for the Hillers. Lang, Simulus, and Pedroli. There's a strike. 1-1 the count. And that's fouled off, 1-2. Swing and a miss. Out number 1. That was actually a pinch hitter. That was Matt Pedroli who stepped in for Lang. So Matt Pedroli strikes out. Now you got Mitch Simulus coming to the plate. Well, the Hiller Bats continuing to make noise over in the softball game. They lead Westwood 9-0 in the bottom of the 6th, as they are threatening a potential mercy rule shortened game. Set for the 1-0. And that is outside. Three and 0 the count now. That was a 2-0 pitch, that last one. And there's a 4-pitch walk. So it'll be runner on first, no outs for the Hillers. Nick Pedroli set to step to the plate. Pedroli 0 for 2 so far today. Checking at first, runner back safe. Well, they've sent Simulus to try to steal both times, as he's reached all 3 times at the plate. He is now a single and 2 walks. We'll see if they try it a 3rd time. He's been caught the first 2. If I'm the Hillers, I don't think I send them. Obviously have them take a lead, get in the pitcher's head a little bit, but you kind of want to get a rally going here. There's a strike. 0-1 the count. Hit in the air, foul. That'll make it 0-2. Hillers softball versus Westwood, also live on HCAM. Morgan Donahue on the call for that game. Big thank you to Morgan for taking the drive up from Westwood to help us get these games covered. And there's strike 3. He goes down looking. That'll bring up Dylan Ruff. Runner on first, 2 outs. Check in, and he slides back safe. Wind up and the pitch. Swing and a miss. And this is up the middle. Dive by the second baseman. Throw to first. Is not going to get there, off the mark, and everybody's safe. So it is going to be a single, infield single, and that was a good effort by the second baseman to try to make the play. As stepping in is Michael Sullivan. It's a good effort. He had a throw from the sit-down position, Charlie Martin, on a nice attempt, but throw just a little off the mark. Big opportunity here for the Hillers, but there is 2 outs. And they check in on the runner at first. He's back. So you got Mitch Simulus at second, Dylan Ruff at first, and Michael Sullivan, who has a big bat at the plate. Ryan Petrus came in the game this inning for Westwood. Both teams went with their second pitcher of the game after 4 innings. Wind up and the pitch. Down low. Well, the Hillers will take the field for the top of the 7th over in the softball game, but they lead at 11-0. Just 1 run short of that mercy rule going into effect. 3-1 the count. And that is strike 2. That'll fill it up. Big pitch here. It's either going to send you to the 6th or load the bases. Or, of course, be a foul ball. And it's going to load the bases. So Sullivan draws the walk, and now you got James Hayward coming to the plate. Petrus takes a long look over at first and is set to deal. There's a strike. The 0-1. Down low, 1-1. Set to deliver. Fouled away. 1-2 the count. Wind up and the pitch. And a little low there, 2-2. Bases full of Hillers, but 2 outs. Fouled off into the backstop. Set to deliver, and that is fouled over the backstop. Good battle here between James Hayward and Ryan Petrus. Two and two count. And strike three, got him looking. He gets out of the jam, and we are heading to the top of the sixth with the game tied at 2 on HCAM. Top of the sixth inning. And a new pitcher for the Hillers. You got Dylan Ruff into the game. Third pitcher of the game is Danny Leahy at the plate. Their softball just getting wrapped up. They took down Westwood by a final of 11-1. A 2-2 game here. And this is on the ground, up the right side, throw to first, and they get the out. 4-3, 4 out number one. And that is going to bring up Drew Donegan. First pitch to Donegan is a ball. So Dylan Ruff, he's been a solid reliever for the Hillers. Third pitcher of the game, he moves over from shortstop. 1-1 count. Wind up and the pitch. Swing and a miss. 1-2. New shortstop for the Hillers is Travis Rich. Here's the 1-2. Strike 3. Out number 2. And that'll bring up Teddy McGowan. Teddy McGowan, a freshman. We got Morgan Donahue here, and we'll have him hop on the broadcast probably next inning to fill us in on how the softball game went. Breaking pitch. And that was, I believe, a ball. Oh no, he did call it a strike. 0-1. I was going to say it looked like a strike. Of course, we're a bit far away, trying to grab the inner corner again, and he does. 0-2. Wind up and the pitch. Little outside, 1-2. Set to deal. And there's strike 3, and that'll wrap up the top of the 6th. We head to the bottom of the 6th. Westwood 2, Hillers 2. It's a battle on HCAM and Westwood Media Center. Bottom of the 6th inning. And stepping in for the Hillers is Andrew Bauschman. 2-2 game, or excuse me, it's Westwood at the plate. And it is...
So it looks like Hillers
at the plate.
Yeah.
All right, got a little lost there. Was distracted. Sorry, folks. It is Andrew Bauschman.
What a game so far, Tom, huh?
It absolutely is. And you had quite a game.
Did.
Well, not so good for your Westwood Wolverines,
but
the Hiller Bats got going.
They did. Addie Walls, 3 for 4, or 4 for 5 on the day. She had 13 strikeouts. What a day.
Yeah, she has been very impressive in the pitcher's circle and with the bat, as this is hit high in the air towards center field and caught for the first out. Well, I'd say this game's a bit of kind of the opposite of your game. You had the offensive fireworks. Here, it's more of a pitcher's duel, but Yeah, a fantastic pitcher's duel between Pat Hunt and Nick Pidroli to start.
Pedroli, hockey player, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, you are
He had one of
correct.
those
He's a
late goals
multi-sport
in the,
athlete, also a football player.
yeah.
And right now you got Ryan Petrus in the game, second pitcher of the day for Westwood. And it's a 1-0 count on Cal Mahan, the catcher. That pitch a little low, 2-0. So it looks like this Westwood team, they got some good pitching this season on the baseball diamond.
They do. So Patrick Hunt, sophomore for the Wolverines, off to a great start so far. Got the win. He was part of a combined no-hitter versus Ashland last week. So he pitched, I believe, 5 innings. Danny Leahy pitched the 6, and they were able to close the game out with the run rule with no hits.
Wow. Wind up and the pitch, and this is up the left side. Grabbed by the third baseman, throw over. It was off the mark, but the first baseman had a nice stretch, and he got him.
So McGowan on third, able to run in on that chopper, threw it over. Donegan able to get the tag on the runner for the out.
And Donegan, he had to really reach to get the runner, but
He
able
did.
to get him. And now you got Zach Stacy stepping to the plate.
One thing about this Wolverine team, a very talented infield.
Swing and a miss, 0-1. Yeah, very good defensively. We've seen some great defensive plays
Yep.
in this game by both sides, and
All multi-sport athletes too. So across the board, Donegan, football captain, Charlie Martin, second base, soccer player, Senjik, football player, linebacker for the Wolverines, and then Teddy McGowan, he's a basketball player and a football player.
yeah, and on the Hillers team, you might remember some of these names: Nick Pajoli, James Hayward.
Yep. Pajoli had a big late goal versus the Wolverines to take them to overtime.
Down low. And Hayward, tremendous hockey player. He was injured the majority of the season. Came back towards the end against your
It was a
Westwood
Dedham game. They had a crazy game
against
versus
Dedham.
Dedham where you guys are down 2 or 3 goals and he had like 3 of his own in the period.
Oh, that's right. That's the day we had the Hopkinton
Yes.
Westwood girls, and then you were watching the Dedham game later on.
Yep. And the girl softball game called the Callie Arthur. Remember that name from hockey?
Oh, absolutely. And this is going to be a little trickler up the middle. Flip to first, not a problem. A 1-2-3, bottom of the 6th, and what do you know? We're heading to the top of the 7th with the game tied at 2 apiece. Could we see extras? We'll find out soon enough. You are watching Hopkinton Hillers Westwood Wolverines on HCAM and Westwood Media Center. top of the 7th inning. Westwood Wolverines coming up to the plate. We are tied at 2. Who is going to take it? We shall find out. And it looks like we're going to have a pinch hitter for Westwood.
Chase Warren.
Chase Warren at the plate. He's batting for the DH Max Bull.
Chase Warren, son of Greg Warren, who's a terrific quarterback for the Wolverines. Won a Super Bowl in the late 80s.
And he takes a strike,
That
1-1.
Right down the middle. Beautiful pitch.
Dylan Ruff out there for another inning of work for the Hillers. He's their 3rd pitcher of the day, and it looked like kind of a semi-swing there, but that's going to be strike 2. The 1-2 pitch. Just outside, 2-2.
So Tom, how about that finish the other night? Hillers versus the Dedham Marauders. Looked like there was 2 outs.
Oh, that was quite a finish.
Strikeout, and then got a walk on base, and then what a finish.
Yeah, 2 outs, and as that pitch is outside, 2-2. 2 outs in the inning, nobody on, and then all of a sudden a couple walks, a walk and then a hit, and then another walk. You got bases loaded, and then
and whoever had that last hit, what a
Michael
rocket.
Sullivan absolutely tattooed the ball in the left field. 2-run score, and the Hillers walk off. Perhaps we'll see another one tonight.
Yeah, it's looking like it.
Strikeout there for Chase Warren, 1 away, and Charlie Martin going to step to the plate. Charlie is 1 for 2 on the day.
Charlie's been a long-time player for the Wolverines. I remember calling his name his sophomore year.
Ooh,
Did he
look
catch
out.
a piece of him? No. He has been playing second base for the Wolverines for the last 3 years. So, I mean, very impressive kid. He's had himself quite a career in the for the Wolverines.
Yeah, he scored the game-tying run in the 5th. Strike there, 1-1. And that was off a sacrifice RBI ground out by John Bertone.
Yep.
Leg lift and the pitch. And he gets a piece of this one. It's going to take a couple hops up the left side, throw to first, and they got him. 6-3, 4 out, number 2. Brady Dumais stepping to the plate.
Brady Dumais, one of the TVL All-Stars for the hockey team.
Yeah, it was good to be familiar with some of these names from working with you for a few.
We did these collaborations together. We had quite a few this year, Tom.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, I think that's the first Westwood loss.
I was going to say, not that we're counting, but you guys got your first win in these collaboration games with the girls softball win.
Well, now that it's me and you on the same game, we'll see what happens.
Maybe it's different when that's the case.
Here's the 0-1. And a swing and a miss. 0-2. 2 outs here in the top of the 7th. Hillers will have a chance if they can get out of this unscathed at another walk-off in the bottom of the 7th. A swing and a miss, strike 3, out number 3. We're heading to the bottom of the 7th on HCAM. Bottom of the 7th inning, Ryan Lang stepping to the plate. Wind up and the pitch. A little low there, 1-0.
Any relation to the Hopkinton goalie from a couple years back? It was a Lang who I think was the goalie for that state championship team.
I want to say yes, but to be honest, I am not sure.
We're going with yes.
2-0 the count as he pulls back the bunt. And actually, this is not Lang. We're getting a pinch hitter. This is Travis Rich at the plate. So Travis Rich, he came in as the second baseman. Or actually, excuse me, as the shortstop when Dylan Ruff moved over to pitcher.
Yeah. And he's got 3 balls, no strikes.
The 3-0. Hillers would certainly like to get the lead man on, but there's a strike. 3-1.
Outside corner there.
After Rich's through, it'll be top of the order for the Hillers. So big opportunity here. Second straight Hiller home game where we saw bottom of the 7th, as that is fouled away.
And if I remember correctly, Tom, last year was an extra inning game between the Wolverines and the Hillers, and it was a night game like this as well.
I feel like some of the wildest baseball games I see are between Hopkinton and Westwood. Leg lift and the pitch. And the walk is drawn. Lead man on for the Hillers.
The Wolverines going to look to get 2 here. They have the infield that can do it. Tough to do with the cold, but these guys are impressive. I mean, just the last inning too, the Hillers as well. You know, able to really get in front of balls in the field and make some big plays, help out the pitcher.
One thing you're going to realize about the Hillers, they like to take a lot of risks on the base pass. We'll see if they take one here. Bunt pulled back, throw down to first, and the runner back safe.
John Bertone checking in on first there.
I've been saying, though, with the arm that Bertone has from behind the plate, I don't know how much you want to test this guy.
I mean, I saw him catching a runner stealing earlier in the game.
He caught Charlie Simulus, the guy at the plate, twice in this game so far. And nearly
junior captain for the Wolverines.
And this is going to be a bunt up the left side.
Check
It's caught. Throw to first. And he's back safe at first. So they get 1 out.
What a play by the freshman, Teddy McGowan. Great anticipation on that bunt. Able to track it and even tried to catch him at first to double up. High IQ. He knew the situation before that ball hit the bat, but big play.
And that brings up Nick Pedroli. Pedroli 0 for 3 so far. Wind up and the pitch. And a breaking pitch, a little high, 1-0. Now it's been a while since we saw Pedroli get a hit. He'd like to get one here. Checking at first. Oh, he got him!
Wow.
What a throw over by Petrus to get Lang. 2 away.
Unconventional 2 outs here for the Wolverines. A catch on the bunt and then pick off play there, checking it on first.
And I just think that's the last thing you wanted to happen with this
momentum.
Part of the order.
I mean, that's a momentum shifter for Westwood.
Certainly is. There's a strike, 1-1. Petrus set to deal, and this is hit high in the air over to left field and caught for the out, and we are heading to extra innings. To the top of the 8th we go on HCAM and Westwood Media Center. top of the 8th inning. And stepping to the plate, Luke Chandler for Westwood.
Luke, the Duke Chandler. Luke is the ace for the Wolverines. Not pitching tonight, but man, he can hit a ball a long way when he gets the bat on it.
Well, he's stepping in for Sam Blomquist, the right fielder. And the Hopkinton Hillers, Westwood Wolverines, gotta love it. Coldest day of the year. They picked to go into extra innings.
Yeah.
They want to keep playing out there. I guess it keeps them warm. And
Yeah,
this is
rip.
up the left side. That's going to trickle into left center. And that's a leadoff single for Chandler.
Heck of a hitter. And he'll probably see a pinch runner come in for Luke. And we do.
And now stepping in, you're going to have Jonathan Bertone, the catcher.
So the leadoff hitter now coming up to the plate.
And this is a big moment for Westwood if they can get something going here. There's a bunt for a strike. Throw to first. Nearly got him, but he's back safe.
So this is something Westwood likes to do, is they like to get the attention of the fielders. So one, Bertone shows bunt. He wasn't going to bunt, but also taking a big enough lead to try and draw a throw to first. That ball, if it's not thrown perfectly, if it gets by the first base, you're getting that runner to second, on a layup. So.
And they brought in Blomquist to pinch run for Chandler. Line up and the pitch.
That was a great looking curveball. So what do we see here? Runner on first. Blomquist got some speed. Do you send him here? That's the question. It's a cold day. It's a lot harder to throw that ball to second and try and get a stealing runner.
Well, you got Cal Mahan, who has a great arm from behind the plate, but it wouldn't surprise me if they try to send him.
Bertone.
That's going to be out number 1. Goes down by way of the K. And now Brendan Senjik stepping to the plate.
Senjik, a sophomore, started last year, I think, every game as a freshman. He's sure-handed at shortstop, also pretty solid with the bat in his hands.
And there's a strike. 0-1. I'll tell you, Ruff has found a groove. He's in his 3rd inning of work, and he's hitting that strike zone pretty well. Line up and the pitch. And this is up the left side. Glove by the 3rd baseman. Throw to first. And they get the out. Runner from first. Blomquist does advance to second. So you do have a runner in scoring position, but 2 outs. Danny Leahy stepping in.
I'll see ya.
And big thank you to Denise Untaki, who did camera for softball and helped clean up the gear. And she says she's going home to sit in the sun, and I can't blame her. And this is going to get by the catcher, and the runner from second will advance to third. So now you got that game-tying run.
If you get a pass ball now, that runner can score from third, so a little pressure added.
The go-ahead run at third.
Yes.
Westwood would certainly like to get him across. Ruff set to deal, leg lift and the pitch. And nice breaking ball there for a strike.
A perfect angle to see those breaking pitches. It's starting on the batter. So it looks like it's going to be an inside pitch, if not, be close to hitting them. And then it works its way nicely in that strike zone for strikes.
Yeah, he's done a really nice job at painting the corners. Oh, painted the corner a little too much there.
That was one there. Just didn't have much break on that and just missed the batter.
2-1 the count. Looks like the Hiller boys lacrosse team here, they're waiting to practice. Wind up and the pitch, and this is lifted into left field. He absolutely tattooed it. It was quite a dive attempt. but a run is going to score for the Wolverines, and they will take the lead. That is a RBI single for Danny Leahy.
Danny Leahy has been getting the bats going this year. He's been on fire. He was a complimentary player last year. This year, he's the starting center fielder, and been right around the cleanup hitter and getting it done.
Drew Donegan at the plate, and he gets a piece of this one over to short, and the throw to first is in time. They get the third out 6-3, but Westwood takes the lead. It's a 3-2 game as we head to the bottom of the 8th on HCAM and Westwood Media Center. Bottom of the 8th inning, Dylan Ruff stepping to the plate. Hillers have some work to do. They find themselves down 3-2, and they're down to their final 3 outs as that's fouled away. 3, 4, and 5 hitters due up, however. You got Ruff, Sullivan, and Hayward. Line up and the pitch. And that one is low. 1-1. Well, Petrus has done a nice job since coming in the 5th inning. As this is lifted in the air, that'll drop into right field, and it's a leadoff single for Dylan Ruff.
A well-placed hit right in the gap area. Not hit sharply, but well-positioned.
That's going to bring up Michael Sullivan. Michael Sullivan got that walk-off game-winning hit against Dedham this past Wednesday. And he gets a piece of this one, but it's foul. Look out in the parking lot. I have.
How many have you seen in your day, Tom?
I've seen a few.
You've seen a few, yeah.
It's a dangerous parking lot sometimes.
You know where to park. You park right up at the middle school, huh?
That's right.
Very safe.
I try to park far away. Or if you're in the parking lot, try to get a back row spot. That pitch outside. 1-1.
I'd imagine you hear a rouse out of the crowd when you hear a psh.
Oh, absolutely.
Tale as old as time.
You got to call the windshield company to come down.
When you hear contact, you hear the, oh.
Ooh, swing and a miss. Big swing there by Sullivan.
Petrus with a little extra on that one. Still got some left in the tank. It's deep and it's cold into this game. Still reaching back for that fastball.
This is like October playoff baseball
is.
type of weather. The 1-2. And this is hit in the air, foul out of play.
Another one heading towards the cars and safe. This feels like the weather where the Miami Dolphins will do their warm-up with no shirts on to act unintimidated by the New England weather.
The 1-2. Checking at first, runner back safe. Yeah, you wonder what this cold weather, I mean, it must delay the runners a little bit taking off.
Oh, yeah. I don't know what it's more difficult for, the runners trying to get a good jump or the catcher, but either way, it's a challenge for both.
Big swing there and a miss, out number 1. James Hayward stepping to the plate. Westwood Wolverines looking to improve to 4-0. Hiller softball able to take down Westwood today, 11-1. Big thank you to Morgan who called that game and was kind enough to stick around for the conclusion of this baseball game in this very cold weather. Petrus takes a long look at first and is set to deal. Check in at first, runner slides back safe.
It's a lot of confidence in the throw and the guy at first base, Donegan. You're doing that, late in the game like this. A bad throw will put that runner at second, so, some great confidence between the pitcher and the first base.
Wind up and the pitch, and that's fouled into the backstop. That'll make the count 0-2. It's gotta hurt if you get a good piece of the ball in this weather.
If you catch one off the end of the bat, you'll feel that for a couple days.
Make sure you wear the batting gloves in this type of weather. Swing and a miss, and that is out number 2. Westwood 1 out away from taking the comeback win.
That looks like a foul tip strikeout. It looked like you got a piece of it, but Bertone able to get the glove on it. So 2 back-to-back strikeouts for.
He's pitched very well since coming in. As Andrew Bauschman at the plate, he's really calmed down the Hiller bats, and actually the only hit he gave up, that was the first hit he gave up to Dylan Ruff to start the inning. He's walked a few hitters, but the Hillers have not had a hit since Petrus came in the game to start the 5th inning. Checking at first, runner back.
I'm still amazed. I mean, the confidence between Petrus and Donegan checking in. One bad throw, that runner's going to second. He's in scoring position. That's a tying run. Well, that's impressive.
And a swing and a miss there. Runner from first takes off, and he has the stolen base. Throw just off the mark. So Dylan Ruff with the stolen base. 1-1 count. 2 outs. But that's certainly a job well done by Ruff. Very important to get the runner in scoring position with 2 outs.
Petrus is dialed. He's just focused on the batter. He's got back-to-back strikeouts.
Wind up and the pitch, and that's fouled off.
That was another foul tip in the catcher's mitt.
Bauschman down to his final strike. He winds, he deals, and this is hit in the air, right side, and it is dropped, and a run is going to score for the Hillers, and the game is tied. An RBI single for Andrew Bauschman, Dylan Ruff around to score, and this game is retied at 3 apiece.
That was hit in a tough area, just unable to get the glove on the ball. Did a good job of keeping it in front, but well-positioned ball. We're tied up.
Well, this Hiller team, they just don't want to stop fighting. A swing and a miss there. At the plate, it's the catcher, Cal Mahan. Hillers with the game-winning run at first base, but 2 outs. There's a strike.
First curveball we've seen in a bit for Petrus.
Will we see a walk-off or will we see a 9th inning? Wind up and the pitch, and this is hit in the air in foul territory, and it is
a great
not
effort
going
there
to
by
be caught.
Donegan trying to get that ran into the fence.
That was a good effort.
He's not afraid of contact.
I guess the lacrosse team going to have to wait a little
Yeah.
longer.
We got King Philip warming up down here.
Oh, and 2 the count. And that is a ball. Runner takes off from first. They got him. So Bauschman caught stealing, and we're heading to the 9th inning with the game tied at 3 on HCAM. We continue on, top of the 9th inning. A 3-3 game. As rough out there, and this is hit in the air, and that is going to drop in for a base hit. Lead man aboard for Westwood. As Teddy McGowan reaches with the single. Well, the Hillers are going to keep it rolling with Dylan Ruff. He's done a nice job, so he stays out there. Max Bowl, the DH at the plate. And there's a strike. Runner takes off, slides in safe. Well, you can tell Westwood, they're not playing around. They're going to try to get that run across. and be aggressive about it. I think these guys probably want to get out of the cold weather at this point. And a correction at the plate. We got Chase Warren. And the pitch is wild. Runner advances to third. So just like that, Westwood has the go-ahead run at third base. And it's a 2-0 count on Chase Warren. Wolverines do have warm-up action as well, as that is fouled into the backstop. Little conference on the mound. The Hillers also have some warm-up action. So you wonder what the leash is with Dylan Ruff. Getting loose for the Hillers, that is Nolan Huang. Wind up and the pitch. And this is up the middle, slow roller picked up by the second baseman. Throw to first, and they get the out. Runner stays put at third. So 4-3 out. McGowan stays at third, didn't want to take the risk. And now Charlie Martin set to step to the plate. Wind up and the pitch. And it's a bunt foul. They're trying the suicide squeeze there. Yeah, if you're Westwood, you're certainly not looking to leave that runner stranded. And the hitter, a little chat with the Westwood coach. Some extra innings baseball on this Friday night. To start off the top of the eighth, Westwood plated a run, took a 3-2 lead. Hillers would tie it up with a, thanks to Andrew Bauschman's single, RBI single. And this is a bunt. Runner from third is going to score. Throw to first is going to be in time, but he gets the job done. A sacrifice RBI ground out for Charlie Martin, and Westwood has the 4-3 lead. And that was just a perfect bunt to get that run around, as this is driven up the middle, picked up at short, throw to first, not a problem. 6-3 for out number 3 as they get Dumais, and we are heading to the bottom of the ninth with Westwood leading 4-3 on HCAM and Westwood Media Center. Bottom of the ninth inning. Hillers once again down to their final 3 outs. Unless they could plate a run. Stepping in, due up was Calvin Mahan. And he is indeed at the plate. Line up and the pitch. A little low, 2-0. Ryan Petrus remains on the hill for Westwood. Set to deliver. And another ball there, 3-0. Wind up and the pitch. There's a strike, 3-1. Well, it's been a extra long game here today. This game probably started at about, I want to say 5 o'clock or so, 5:05. So close to 2.5 hours of baseball so far. 3-2 the count. Petrus battling back. And this is on the ground, up the middle, picked up by the second baseman. Throw to first, they get the out. 1 away. Now you got Zach Stacy due up. Well, Stacy will step in. He's 1 for 3 on the day. Tom Nappy, happy to be with you on this Friday night. Morgan Donahue was with us for a few innings. He had to take off. He had the call of the softball game and watched the Hillers take down Westwood in that game, 11-1. A very impressive performance by the Hiller Bats against a good Westwood pitcher. But the Hillers softball team just red hot right now with the bats. That pitch outside. 1-0 the count on Stacy. Leg lift and the pitch, and this is foul up the left side. 2-1. Due up next is Ryan Lang, 7, 8, and 9 hitters for the Hillers in this bottom of the ninth. Wind up and the pitch. And there's a strike. 2-2. Set to deliver. And this is a chopper up the middle, picked up by the shortstop, throw to first, and he got him. 2 away. Hillers down to their final out. Ryan Lang set to step in. Wind up and the pitch. And this is up the left side. First baseman throws over, and Lang's gonna beat it out. Well, the throw a little off the mark. Lang able to beat it out, and the Hillers have a man on first. Top of the order coming up. And they're gonna bring up Cafazzo. correction, excuse me, that wasn't Lang at the plate. That was indeed Gabe Cafazzo. So now top of the order for the Hillers, Mitch Simulus at the plate. We'll see if they send the runner. One and oh the count. Well, both of these teams, they want this one. They're not going down without a fight. Swing and a miss, 1-1. And the throw to first, runner back safe. They try the back pick. The runner just able to get back. Set to deliver. There's the ball, 2-1. Wind up in the pitch. And this is ripped up the left side. That's going to trickle in to left field. It's going to be runners on first and second for the Hillers. Mitch Simulus with the base hit. Runners on first and second. And now you got Nick Pedroli to the plate. And they're going to have a talk on the mound. Looks like we might be getting a new pitcher. New pitcher coming in for Westwood. What a job by Ryan Petrus. He really pitched very well. But we're going to see a new pitcher for the Wolverines. And they're going to bring in Danny Leahy to come in and try to close this game out. So we'll step aside while Leahy gets ready, and we will be back. You are tuned in to Hopkinton Hillers, Westwood Wolverines on HCAM. We continue on in the bottom of the ninth. New pitcher for Westwood, Danny Leahy in the game. Nick Pedroli set to step in. Two on, two outs. Hit high in the air, right side, and it is dropped by the right fielder. One run is in, a second run coming around, and the Hillers are going to take the win. A 2 RBI double for Nick Pedroli, and the Hillers are going to walk off with the win. Unbelievable. What a game, what a win by the Hillers. Nick Pedroli absolutely tattoos the ball to right field. The right fielder nearly had it but could not hang on. And Lang and Simulus both score to give the Hillers the 5-4 win. It is their second straight walk-off on their home turf. It took 9 innings, but the Hopkinton Hillers get it done, and they get the victory over the Westwood Wolverines. Absolutely unreal. Hillers now 3-2 on the season, and Westwood falls to 3-1. Nick Pedroli delivers a game-winning 2 RBI hit in the bottom of the ninth to lead the Hillers to a 5-4 victory over the Westwood Wolverines. Absolutely remarkable. What a win by the Hillers. This team just does not stop fighting, and they kept fighting here tonight. They were down by a run in the 8th, came back, tied it, were down a run in the 9th, came back and won it. 5-4, your final score. Hopkinton Hillers defeat the Westwood Wolverines. That is going to wrap it up for our coverage here tonight. A big thank you to Morgan Donahue, who called the Hopkinton Westwood softball game, and Denise Antaki, who helped with camera on the softball game. It was a great team effort to bring you these 2 broadcasts today, and it ended up being 2 remarkable games for the Hillers, as Hiller softball gets the win, 11-1 in their game, and Hiller baseball, it took 9 innings, but they get it done, 5-4, your final score. A big thank you to everyone in Westwood and everyone in Hopkinton who watched today. We thank you for joining us. Take care, enjoy the rest of your evening, and we'll talk to you again soon. Goodbye, everybody.